Hello, I'm Gilbert Helton. I'm here to do my brain dissection lab. Something I've been waiting on for a while now, must admit. I got all my proper PPE on with the gown, the gloves, the goggles. Also, I've got my dissection kit that I prematurely just opened just to verify I have what I need. I used the scissors to cut the packaging. So I have the specimen right here ready to go onto the tray. So without further ado, let's get that on the tray. Ventral side down. Okay. Got my scalpel. I want the longer blade because I'm going to be making an incision through the top here. That's about right. Using the scalpel. Okay. Also, I have just my list here of terms right here to go over. Put that up. And, whoa, that's gonna be careful. Alright, cool. So, here we go. First on our list is the cerebrum, which is, of course, the exterior portion here with the veins. You see all that. All here. Next will be the gyrus. Did I say that right? Gyrus, sorry. It's the grooves, actually. So let me get this. It's the grooves out here that you'll see all out here. These grooves are the gyruses. Similar to that would be the soleus, which are the grooves right here on the internal. So if I turn it this way, the line here, there's grooves in there, that'd be the soleus. Alright. The longitudinal cerebral fissure is where I'm going to make my incision. So looking at it as if I was looking head to head here with the goat, be right here. Okay. The brain stem. And it's down on the underbelly. So let me go ahead and make the incision. We'll open it up and we'll be able to identify the terms a little more easily. So, like the video instructs us, I'm going to make the incision straight down. Trying not to cut myself, of course. Gotta be an easier way to hold it. It's not every day you cut a brain open, so sorry if I'm a little bit slow at this. I can feel myself going all the way through and actually getting to the... I'm also going to cut a small portion of the spinal cord while I'm at it. Okay. Should be about ready to split here. Awesome. There we go. We've kind of blossomed it open. There we go. Cool. Not cool, but awesome. Alright. Where was I at? So I was cut down the longitudinal central fissure. Okay. And the midbrain. I can't really move my camera. It's just me here. say midbrain. It's gonna be like the top 1/3 here of the brain stem itself. I don't know if you can see that. If I can lift it. It's the brain stem. It's over here. Okay. The cerebral peduncle. So this is going to be the way I described it in my own thought process would be like tissue fiber between the pons and the optic nerve. The optic tract. Which I'll come back to that because I got to get to it. Sorry. Superior colliculus, just below the thalamus. So, thalamus. Let's see if I can get a good picture here. Right here. And the inferior colliculus, which is, of course, below the superior colliculus. Yeah. Oh, gosh, it's hard to point and aim at the camera. Here. The pons. So in everything I've seen online and my studies has been, it's like a round, bulb-looking thing, and it's in the front of the medulla. So the pons would be there. And the medulla oblongata, which is just below it. So you got the pons. I don't know if you can see my stick. And the medulla oblongata. The cerebellum, which is beneath the it's beneath the main, like the main aspect of the brain if you're looking at it from the exterior. So it's the rear. So, had I not cut this in half already, putting it back together here with my hand, it's going to be back here. Okay. The vermes, it's the innermost cerebellum portion. So now that it is cut in half, it's a good opportunity to show that. And here. The lateral hemisphere. So putting it together, you have the sides of the brain basically where I cut. Each one of those is a hemisphere. Each one's a lateral hemisphere, right and left. The meninges, which is, I don't know how it portrays on the screen as I upload the video, but it's coated here. The meninges is this coating, this sheath. That is the meninges. The outermost layer, this gray that you see on top, would be the dura mater. Just beneath that, the second, if I was able to slice this layer by layer, which unfortunately I'm unable to do so. The second would be the arachnoid, and then the pia mater would be the last layer of this protective coating. Pituitary gland. It's the small gland just below the hypothalamus. So, hypothalamus. Right there. It's hard to see, I know. Right there. Cranial nerves, C1, which is the olfactory. So these nerves, you have to look at it as if you're looking at the brain, as if it was looking at the front of the head here. They come out of the olfactory glands, the C1 nerves. There's two, and they are pretty tough to see here. This one right here. There. The next ones are going to be the optic nerves, which go off into a V-like formation. They're actually just behind, structurally behind the olfactory nerves. So that'd be like right there. I don't know if you can see them. Kind of dark on my screen. Okay. The next item here, C4 and 6, it says if they're visible. I think that's because I do not see them personally, so I'm assuming they're not visible. I don't know if it's case by case of the brain we get, but it's not visible for me. The corpus callosum, it's going to be the first, it's the first circular structure layer here beneath. And then we also have the thalamus, which is the round structure on top. Okay, just round structure on the top. Okay, so you got the corpus, and then we have the thalamus. Beneath that, of course, hypo, meaning below, would be the hypothalamus. There. The septum pelliculum, the second layer. So if the corpus callosum is the first, then the septum is the second. So you got the first right here, then the second, then the thalamus and the hypothalamus. Okay. You get the spinal cord here. So the spinal cord, I cut just a small piece as we were instructed. It looks a little different in person, not gonna lie. But the white matter, so the white matter is on the inside here. It's the color white, hence the gray matter is supposed to be darker. Mine is the same color. But for me, the gray matter resembles the letter H. And I kind of would put an H here. And that would be the gray matter. So it's like more interior, more central to the center. And then the top, of course, would be the of the H. The gray matter would be the dorsal root. And the bottom half of that H would be the ventral root. Okay. Alright, let me see if I'm missing anything here. That appears to be everything on my list to go over. I really enjoyed this myself. Up until the point where you cut it open and actually examine it, it truly does take more of a trained eye. I felt really good with the vocabulary coming in, but it does not look as color-coded as the computer would suggest. So looking back at this lab, I think that would be the one thing that I would preface this with. But other than that, I really had fun, and I hope that everything came out as clear, at least as clear as it did for me on my video. I got plenty of lighting. I am using my iPhone, so if there's any questions or concerns regarding the video, I'm happy to answer. Yeah, I know it's a little bit jumbled. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's not as clear to me sometimes, to the trained eye professor, but for me it's a little bit harder to see everything on here as opposed to on the screen, which is why we do this, I'm sure. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.